Hi everyone, welcome to class. I am Professor Lane and I'm going to be your instructor for this session of Cyber 100. So the fact that you're looking at this video is a great start. That means that you have actually clicked on this link here and you are watching the video that is on that page. And this is the Start Here module. So to get started, please review the syllabus. We'll take a quick peek at this. I will not go through this line by line, but this is our course syllabus. Here's some contact information for me. Materials. All right, this is actually a big piece. We'll stop right here for a second. You will need a textbook. There is a link to access that, to rent that book. And then we're also going to be using some virtual tools, which are going to be the Siren Labs, all right? And so there's going to be a link to purchasing this in both the Module 1 as well as the Resources module, so you'll find access to that. You will not be able to purchase this at the bookstore. You have to purchase this directly through Siren. In terms of your coursework, you're going to have quizzes. These are chapter quizzes from our textbook. And then you're going to have the Siren Labs. These are going to be the hands-on part of your course. You're also going to have assessments that are based off of the labs. All right, so these two obviously go together. We will have roughly, I think, 4 LinkedIn Learning courses, and then you're going to have your midterm and your final exams. Okay, so please go through and you can read about the different criteria that's going to be involved for those. Here we see a breakdown of what each of those are valued at for your course. Because this is a web class, we don't meet formally, right? But I do expect you to keep up to date. So I expect you to turn everything in on time. We will have weekly deadlines, right? If you turn your work in late, it will have a 10% daily penalty. So after 10 days, I just don't take it anymore. So make sure that you turn it in on time, okay? We do have a lot of work in this in terms of reading the chapter and doing the labs and doing the lab assessments, and then there will be weeks where we have the LinkedIn Learning. You will need to budget your time. So since we don't officially have that in-time class time, that feels like there's a lot more hours of work, right? But realistically, it would be about the same. Here we take a look at what we're going to be doing each week. We slowly get started. So the first week, we just do some basic housekeeping type things, getting ready, getting familiar with the course. Next week, our first week, we'll begin with our textbook. We'll, again, approach this slowly. Then we go into the following week where we're going to get set up with working with Siren. And then the following week, we start doubling up where we have a chapter from our text with a quiz assessment, and then we have our lab and lab assessment. Sometimes, as I mentioned, it will vary. You will have a LinkedIn Learning course that you will also complete. Now, the LinkedIn Learning courses are there to complement the content of either the lab or of the text, all right? And that is the rationale for those, because they just give you some additional foundational knowledge to complement what we're learning at that time. At week 8, we're going to have a presentation by the Career and Professional Development. Now, this is an on-campus presentation. It will be live. If you can attend live, I will have a Zoom link out there. If you can't, I will have that recorded. So we won't be doing anything officially that week, but this is really important because I want students, even though you are probably first-year students, maybe even second-year students, you need to think about your future. And we start now by building that LinkedIn profile. And we want to learn what it is that we need to do so we can get that internship, because part of the cyber program is having an internship. So this presentation will prepare you for that. Or if it'll give you the resources that you can prepare for that. Then the following week, we're going to have the midterm. The midterm, you'll sign in anytime during that week, all right, to take the midterm. The exam itself is timed, so once you start it, you have to finish it, okay? Again, I have instructions for these. We then continue on with the rest of our again, weekly, we'll have the lab with some textbook content as well. Then we get to Thanksgiving, one more week, and then we have the final exam. Okay, so this does coincide with, we do have another schedule that we're going to take a look at that has a little bit more details. Right? Not a whole lot, but has some dates on it. The remaining part of your syllabus, these are the university policies. All right, so you can read through those yourself. Right. So as I mentioned, the course schedule, similar to what we saw in the course syllabus. This is a different breakdown, okay, that coincides with that. Okay, so here we have our start dates. Typically, everything is going to be due at the end of the week. So anything that is presented to you will be due on Sunday evening at 11:59 p.m. That doesn't mean that we can begin on Sunday. That means that that's when it is due. Okay, so make sure that you give yourself plenty of time. All right, I would break things down and do the textbook first, do the lab first, whichever works for you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And this is what this is going to be your roadmap for the semester. Remaining parts of our START module, we have our integrity quizzes. This is an agreement that you understand the policies of academic integrity, all right? And then we're going to have you introduce yourself to your classmates, right? So once you get this started, you're pretty much good for this week, right? But I do want you to take a peek at everything else. Here we have some additional course resources, information about Siren, as well as some university links. You'll notice as I come down a little bit further, this is grayed out, and that is because the modules, this won't unlock until our first day of class, and then all the remaining modules will unlock 1 week prior to that we begin them, all right? And that is what you will find as we go down. So you cannot work ahead, you can only work moderately ahead, okay? Every module is going to be set up like this. You'll see the announcement. This will just outline, give you some expectations, introduce you to the content. Our next is our overview. This gives us, lists all of your objectives as well as all of your learning resources, right? So there will be PowerPoint links to PowerPoints. There will be links for videos as well. So make sure that you check this out. Supplemental, but it all depends on what your style of learning is, and so I try to provide you with some additional resources. If I want it required, you will know that it is required. Based off of our textbook reading, you're going to complete the quiz, right? And you can see that these dates, this is for our first week. Our second week, when we get started, or technically our third week, we're going to be going into our lab. So as I mentioned previously, we're going to slowly get started. So this module 1 is going to be over a 2-week period. That second week, we're going to get started. You should be prepared to purchase the Siren Lab at that time. All right. I'm kind of giving you a couple weeks to make sure that you have to get started with this lab so that you are ready to purchase it. It is $77, I believe. You cannot purchase this through the bookstore, and unfortunately you can't use financial aid vouchers to purchase this. So you have to use either a credit or a debit card for that. All right, so make sure that you are prepared to do that, okay? This week we do have a LinkedIn Learning. We have a short course that just briefly goes over the Windows terminal. All right. Make sure that with each assignment you read through and understand the submission criteria as well as any rubrics that are applied. Okay. When it comes to your quizzes, right, you are welcome to use your textbook. However, I do have the Honor Lock enabled. So that means that you cannot open up another tab. All right, so if you are using or wanting to use your textbook, then you are going to have another computer available. All right, it's just not. I have to monitor. I have to monitor the exam in some way. All right, so it will be locked down. If you try to open up another tab, it will close out, and it's an automatic 0. All right, so please be aware of that. The Siren Lab, as I mentioned, these are roughly going to take about anywhere from like 60 to 90 minutes to complete, and then the lab assessments could take you a while. All right, so I do encourage you to use the lab PDFs to help you with those. All right. The lab assessment is not on Honor Lock, so you don't have to worry about that. You can have multiple tabs open. Now, what I have done for you is, if you go to the media gallery, there are several videos. All right. So the first video that we have explains to you how to submit your labs. Right. So if you're unsure, I do have instructions with the actual lab itself, but I also have created a lab that will show you step by step how to do that. I also mentioned to you when you take your lab assessments that you can use the offline instructions, and here I give you instructions on how to find those as well. Now, every lab will have multiple tasks. All right, so what I've done for you is I have created videos for each of the tasks that you're going to complete. So I encourage you to attempt the labs without looking at the videos. If you happen to have some issues, you have the videos to fall back on. All right, and so you will see that we have these for all of our labs. All right, so I have created that for you. If you ever need to get in touch with me, all right, the Canvas inbox is going to be the most efficient way. All right, I am teaching 2 sections of this. So one is face-to-face on campus, and the other is your section, which is online. So I don't know which section students, if you message me through my Penn State email, I will read it and I will see it. But then when I get to Canvas, I'm going to forget. All right, because I'm not reminded. And if you contact me directly through here, I'm going to see it and I will get back to you. All right, so that's about it. If I have anything important or additional information that I haven't already included within each of the modules, I will post an announcement, so look for those as well. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know, and good luck, and let's get started.